ado, I'd like to introduce Vito Mazza. He is amazing. He has over 30 years experience in education, in sales, and collections, and he's going to show us how to more efficiently sell in our business. So I want to thank you, Vito.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for welcoming me. He gets the prize, this guy right over here. Give him an extra sandwich or something.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me give you this little handout. So let me just tell you quickly, my name is Vito Mazza, and I have been, this month, actually last week, the 9th of July, was actually the 42nd anniversary of my first full-time position out of school. But I've been working a long time before that, too. So most of my career, I'm a high school English teacher by vocation, and about, let's see, 10 days after I got married, we went for an interview. My wife is a teacher also, and I walked her to an office, and next thing you know, there's an interview there for the World Book Encyclopedia. Anybody remember encyclopedias? Anybody have World Book growing up? Very good. Well, what happened was that I listened to the interview from the outside hall, and I said to the guy, "Can I try this?" And he said, "Sure," knowing how naive I was. And I stayed for 28 years. And then this thing in the sky, you know, the internet, that changed my world. And the term that we have is disintermediation, which means travel agents, sellers of all kinds, those middleman positions or middle lady positions were eliminated. And so for the last several years I've been doing consulting work, I've been working with financial services, and today I work with Kinham Inc., which helps people get paid faster. If you're in a business where folks owe you money, we should talk about that. But what I'm here for tonight has to do with sales training and marketing. And my approach to that has been, for all these years, to talk more about the person, the individual. This is about personal development. You know, some people who start a business, how many of you are business owners or are looking to start a business? Great. So, a lot of times I hear new entrepreneurs saying, "Oh, I'm so excited about starting my own business, but I don't want to do any selling because I'm not a salesperson." And I say, "Really? Well, I think you should find another line of work. Because if you're not confident in what you're offering the public, you're selling just by the way that you approach that attitude." So I have a handout for you all. If you would take that and pass it down. And it's very brief. It's two-sided. Here we go. It's two-sided, but there's some very important concepts that I'd like to share with you in the, is that what I have left over there?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so this is going to be very quick. Just a warm-up for our main speaker. Start on the side that says the 4 agreements. Did everybody get one? There's some more over there. So the 4 agreements. Anybody know that book, The 4 Agreements? Have you read that?
No, I've read the cover.
Ah, you read this. Good, very good. That's a good start. And we were just talking about this, Heather and I said to her that I always say to people, I only say what I mean.
Yes.
And the way that Don Miguel Ruiz says it is, be impeccable with your word. So, speak with integrity, say only what you mean, avoid using the word to speak against yourself or gossip about others, and use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Now, that might sound a little, you know, new age, but it's a very true thing that you have to be in business because you love it. You love what you offer. You love your customers. You love your workers, the people on your team. It always bothers me when I hear somebody say, "Yeah, he works for me." He works for me. What does that mean? Who works? Do you work for anybody but yourself? I don't care what your position is. You're working for you and your family. And as a leader, a business owner, I want my team to know that we're on a team. This is a group effort. So I never say somebody works for me. That really troubles me. So maybe it's about this. But this I have a hard time with, I have to tell you. I'm very emotional, one of those emotional Italians. I do take some things personally, but we shouldn't. So he says, nothing others do is because of you. God, that's hard to accept, but it's so true. I'm not going to read them all, but don't make assumptions. Do you know that thing about when you assume? Do you know that? What is it, Heather?
Like an ass and you and me.
Right, A-S-S-U-M-E, ass, you, and me. So don't assume things. Expect good things, but don't assume things. He says, see, with just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. So if you have to expect things, expect good things, expect the best. And then always do your best. How many times do we see, we buy something and it breaks so quickly, or you get something for your kids, a little toy, and it just doesn't work? You know, people need to take pride in their work. And if you can do that, it will help when you're trying to persuade people about what you do. So let's turn this over. Oh, that went blank. That means I have more time?
No, it's going, it's going.
Oh, all right. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is tight. Okay. So, anybody know Zig Ziglar?
Yeah.
All right. I actually had a chance to meet him at the first conference I went to 42 years ago in September. And I was in a big exhibit hall, and there was a guy bending over, putting these albums, which I had never seen an album like this before, on the table. And the name of the album was See You at the Top. And that was Zig Ziglar. So he's been somebody that's been special to me all through the years. But he says this: you can have anything in your life that you want when you help enough other people get what they want. You like that? How many of you never heard that before from Zig Ziglar? Everybody here has heard of Zig Ziglar, and you heard that statement? No. Thank you. You did? No. Well, put your hand up. This is a participation. Come on, I'm trying to warm you up. I'm the warm-up for our main speaker, and I've only got 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. But I'm going over, I promise you. All right. So, now, how many of you sell something in your business? All right. How would you define salesmanship? What would you say it is?
Is to provide value to the customer.
Providing value, okay. Heather, what do you think?
Being of service.
Being of service?
Creating relationships.
Relationships, good. How about now? Will you answer a question? What's salesmanship? You don't sell anything? Yes, you do. You're selling me now that you are not interested in what I have. You're selling. You're always selling. I'm serious. You're selling. How would you define salesmanship?
An external face.
An external face. How do you mean that?
Everything I do is referring to what you just said, everything I do is selling myself, and it's whatever I choose to present.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what Dale Carnegie said salesmanship was. He said that salesmanship, and you can write this in, taking notes, salesmanship is persuading someone to think as you think, to feel as you feel. I told you I was an English teacher, and if you're not writing as I'm telling you the answers, it makes me very upset. Thank you. Think, and then feel the way you feel about your product, your service, your subject, your court case, your prescription. What do we say when a doctor's a good salesperson? What do we say? They have a good bedside manner. That's salesmanship. That's making a person think, the way that I think about my diagnosis, to feel the way that I feel, and then to act in a way that I want them to act. And the last word is self-betterment. You're only doing this to help people do better for themselves. Because we believe there's an immutable law of nature that when you give, you get. And finally, Eleanor Roosevelt. You know, most people know the quote. Eleanor Roosevelt has a very famous quote, which I frankly can't remember now. But she said that no one can make you feel inferior without your permission. But I like this one. Never allow a person tell you no who does not have the power to say yes. And in selling, you need to be sure that you're talking to the decision maker. And they're the ones that can say yes to you and how you think, feel, and act in their most, their best interest. Okay? Anyhow, if you need to get in touch with me, my contact information's on the bottom. And I appreciate the opportunity to join you all tonight, and I look forward to our next presentation. Christina, thank you.